Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's 3 p.m. here in Montreal, and we've got the weekly stream for you. Mr. Tony Dekker is coming up very soon. I'm going to play one song just to get things started, but do give a like to the stream, share it around if there's people that you think need to see and hear it, and let me know where you're watching from. I always like to picture people in front of computers in different towns around the world. I'm gonna play a song called Grace to start with, and then then we're gonna bring Tony in.
Storm on a tent, the copper beach, the couch is still. We tell ourselves that nothing ever changed so much. I see it all, the grace that you hold. You send as you'd ever hope. Is it enough? As infinite as sin, don't ever cast a stone before you wore the vise of fickle and unmoored. At least you're not all the things you're not. Could there be anything that you would rather hear less? I see it all, the grace that you stole. You send me out in the cold, so cool talk, as much as you'd ever hope. You send me out, you send me out in the cold. It's not enough.
Hello to Paris, hello to Durham, hello to Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, hello to Wuppertal in Germany, hello to Toronto. It's a pleasure to be bringing in my special guest this week. It's the one and only Mr. Tony Dekker of the Great Lakes Swimmers. Tony, how's it going?
Hey, Tim. Can you hear me?
I can. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. It's so nice. It's I guess I was just thinking about it actually while I was playing that song, but I think probably the first time I saw you play was like back in 2008-ish, I want to say, at in Nova Scotia at Peggy's Cove. Like you played in like the little, like this one room wooden schoolhouse from like the 17 or 1800s that's just like on these rocks that are just getting smashed by the Atlantic Ocean, and there's this beautiful old lighthouse there, and it was just honestly one of the most special shows I've ever seen. Just like so quiet and beautiful and just magical.
I remember it fondly. That was like, I think it was called the Little Red Schoolhouse.
Yeah.
It was like an old one-room schoolhouse, and it was right at Peggy's Cove. Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, and I also remember playing with you, Tim, at the I think it was the Halifax Pop Explosion.
Yeah.
I think which might have been the first time that I saw you play, and I was equally blown away, and I've been a fan ever since. So this is especially nice
Yeah.
for me. So thanks for the invite.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Yeah, it's great to kind of like connect with people again in these strange ways. And I mean, it's, you know, obviously with
Yeah.
the way things have gone the last couple of years, we've been, you know, not so able to get together and play shows and travel around and stuff. But I think just the nature of the work, like it's pretty easy to go years without seeing people that we meet along the way. So it's been a great opportunity to kind of reconnect again. So yeah, thank you for doing this. And you're over in Niagara at the moment, is that right? In this studio that you're...
Yeah, so I have to give a shout out to Joe Lipinski for lending his space for this today. I'm at the WOW recording studio in St. Catharines, Ontario, in the Niagara region on a brisk December day. I'm grateful to Joe for having me here. He's helping me out with some of the tech. So yeah,
it's looking good and it's sounding good. Yeah.
Awesome.
So for anybody who's new to watching the stream, if you have any questions or requests for Tony, please get them in the chat and I will relay them to him. But yeah, would you like to start us off with a song?
Yeah, sure. I was thinking I would just sort of go to the beginnings of the sort of the Great Lake Swimmers catalog and start with a song that always sort of reminded me. It always feels like winter to me, this song. It also turns, this is kind of crazy, but next year the song will have turned 20.
Oh, wow.
So it goes back to really it's among some of the first songs that I ever wrote, actually, when I started taking the songwriting thing sort of halfway seriously. It's always reminded me of winter because it's a song I really wanted to use hibernation as a metaphor. I always just have thought that that's such a beautiful metaphor, especially for us, human animals. The slowing of the heart rate, the slowing of the heartbeat, the going to sleep, the sort of like, and then kind of waking up, being changed and different in some way, and seeing how things around you have changed, and just sort of this idea of sleeping through a cold season in a way, if you want to kind of look at it that way. So it's a song from the first Great Lake Swimmers album. I thought it might be a nice place to start. It was also a request that we got through Facebook. So it's called Moving Picture Silent Films. If that's cool, I'll give it a try.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, wake me please when this is over. Oh, when the ice has melted away and the hunger returns, I will be the same but older. Maybe twice the bear that I thought I was. Where have you been and what have you done? I've been under the ground eating prayers from this old book I found. Under the ground, saving it up and spending it all on moving pictures, silent films, moving pictures, silent films. Or
this the dream I've been saving? Oh, where the heart beats slower and slower to almost nothing, almost nothing, almost nothing. I took it for love, or at least something beautiful. Out there in the spotlight, I turned around and suddenly turned around and squinting and saw that it was headlights. And then the truth was unbearable. Oh, and imminent, bearing down on these two shadow animals, caught painting a dotted line, caught painting a dotted line, caught painting a dotted line. And where have you been? And what have you done? I've been under the ground, eating prayers from this old book I found. Under the ground, saving it up and spending it all on moving pictures, silent films, moving pictures, silent films.
Magical. So
Thank you.
beautiful. Again, I do feel we should give another shout out to
Thank
Joe,
you.
who's helping us out with the sound over in St. Catharines at the studio.
Yes, thank you very much, Joe Lipinski. There he is.
And there he is. There's his thumb.
Awesome.
And
Yeah, we're at the Wow Sound in St. Catharines.
Wow
So
Sound.
thank you, Joe.
Everybody, if you
Yep.
need a studio in Ontario, get down to the Wow Sound. But that was stunning. That was really, really beautiful. And you managed
you so
you
much.
managed to get us booked within a couple of minutes. So Frank Dietrich at the Gleis 22 in Münster wants to have us both back in Münster. So let's go on tour.
Sounds great.
It's my
let's do
favorite
it.
venue. My favorite venue. It's the best. Thank you, Frank.
Awesome.
But yeah, that was really beautiful.
Thanks so much.
And I should say a thank you as well. A couple of people, Johnny and Scott, both sent donations through. This is a listener-supported thing, so if you want to support the stream, if you want to support myself and Tony, 50% of the donations every week go to the guest artists. There is a link in the video description to donate by PayPal, credit card, or Interac. And there's no like minimum donation, so any amount goes a long way. So that's the housekeeping bit. Yeah, and as I was kind of saying in the chat there as well, if anybody has questions or requests for Tony, please let us know. So I'm just like going off on all the different tangents. The focus is gone. My apologies, Tony.
No, it's all good. Yeah. No, fire away. Really, if anyone's out there and listening and tuning in, please feel free. I haven't done a lot of live streams over the pandemic, but I when I got the invite from you, Tim, I couldn't say no. So thank you again for having me.
No, I mean, it sounds so beautiful. Yeah, because I mean, that was where I was going to go next, sort of like what you've been up to in the last couple of years. Because you basically released an album like right before or you kind of like been touring it for a while, like right before everything got shut down.
Yeah, the last record proper actually came out in 2018. And so by the time the pandemic hit, we were kind of at the end of the album cycle, more or less. I released an acoustic version of it in 2019, which I was ostensibly touring with into 2020, and I had a European tour booked for 2 or 3 weeks in April 2020, which got canceled, of course, and was supposed to be with a friend of mine, Liz Heisen from the band Picastro. And that got canceled, unfortunately. We finally did a show together in London, Ontario, a couple of weeks ago. So we kind of sort of got to honor that sort of the idea of the tour after like 2.5 years later, you know. So I was lucky in that I didn't have something lined up for the beginning of 2020 because I really feel for the artists that had a record coming out in March and in early 2020. So I was lucky in that regard, but at the same time, it really felt like putting the brakes on a train, you know, as I'm sure it did for a lot of people. And it's been hard to kind of get it going again because things still feel so uncertain in so many ways. So we've done a handful of shows this year, but not as many as we normally do. And I'm certainly excited to get back to it in 2023 if we can. But, you know, since those tours and things were canceled and our shows for 2020 were pretty much, you know, done for, I put myself to work working on new songs. And I had done a trip up to Lake Superior in the summer of 2019 to sort of start on that process, and did a writing trip and a little bit of a reconnaissance trip with the intention of really getting into it full force in 2020. So that was kind of shut down, but I did put myself to work into my songwriting and became really close with my little family unit as well. You know, that was kind of the silver lining to me, was to have some time to work on tunes. And then actually, Joe and I, in between lockdowns, over the course between 2020 and until about like this past fall, we were doing sessions for a new album in random places, not random places, but cool acoustic places around the Niagara region, more or less. And managed to put together enough songs to make an album. And there hasn't really been an official announcement or anything, but it's due to come out in April 2023.
Whoa,
so
you heard it
we
here
finally
first.
have yeah, this is an exclusive announcement. But yeah, so it's coming out in April 2023. I literally worked on it for 3 years, which is the longest I think I've worked on probably anything.
Yeah.
And it's only because I had the time to do that and was sort of forced to do it in a way, you know, because there was not much else I could kind of do in the last couple of years. So we really, I think it's a very considered album, and I really had the chance to put some effort into it. So I'm really excited for people to hear it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Were you
so if there was a
considering
silver lining,
playing
you know?
playing anything from that, or was that you don't have to, no pressure? But I don't know what you had in mind for your set list for today.
I was just talking about this with Joe earlier, and I thought, like, should I play a new one today? And he's like, yeah, man, of course you should. So
thanks, Joe.
Yeah, so maybe I will try a new song if you're up for it,
please.
And if your viewers want to hear it. Yeah,
I'm sure they do.
Should we go into
Yeah.
Should we go into another song?
Let's do it,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good kind of natural segue, I guess. So, so I'll play one of the songs from it. Maybe I'll just kind of say a few words about it too. I thought, at first the song was, I wanted to write the song about this contrasting idea of lightness and darkness sort of metaphor, and I thought, just the kind of the coexistence of the two, and it came about really quickly at the beginnings of one of our recording sessions, and it just felt good. I feel like I was trying to make like feel good music in a way, comfort music, over the last couple of years. So I think that's kind of come out, and there might be some of that in here. It's called Moonlight Stay Above. Shadows get behind, darkness stay away, and leave me alone. Moonlight stay above, that I might find the way. Don't strand me and leave me alone. Has the beast been lost in a watery fight to make it right, or hope to reach a golden peach on a gauzy Friday night, drawing through the last look that I have. Shadows get behind, darkness stay away, and leave me alone. Moonlight stay above, that I might find the way. Don't strand me and leave me alone. Am I lucid enough? Is it obvious? Right in front this whole time, am I looking hard enough and loving good enough and rising high enough to know you this way? Shadows get behind, darkness stay away, and leave me alone. Moonlight stay above, that I might find the way. Don't strand me and leave me alone. Don't strand me and leave me alone.
Beautiful. Exclusive new material from Great Lake Swimmers over in Ontario, live here. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for,
Tim.
yeah, thanks so much. That's very generous of you to share the new music with us.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the the new songs, and yeah, happy to share them. Yeah, we actually recorded that one with a women's choir based here in
Oh,
Niagara
wow.
called Minuscule, and they're fantastic in their own right. But we had a choir of 10 or 11 women strong playing that one or singing that one with us, and it was super powerful. We recorded in a historical church in the area, and yeah, it turned out really nicely. It's really beautiful. They did a beautiful job on it, and I'm excited to share that with people in particular. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a couple of questions actually come in while you were playing as well. And also, so I don't know if you know about the land of Twitch, Tony, but there's this whole world of Twitch, which I think initially started as like people playing video games, but people have started streaming on there. So this stream, it goes out on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, but in the land of Twitch, people will raid your stream. So they'll be watching something else, and then they'll bring all the people who are viewing that in here. So we've just had a bunch of people show up, so just wanted to welcome them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And yeah, I had a couple of questions. Ryan was saying that you once said that you had roots in the punk music in your youth, and he's wondering if you could name a few of your favorite bands from those years so that we can look them up and listen.
Yeah, sure. I want to point everyone towards a songwriter called Art Bergman, who is a real sort of like, I feel, an underappreciated gem in Canada. And he started with a band. He's kind of like, he pioneered Canadian punk in a lot of ways with a band called the Young Canadians, which he had to change their name to after calling themselves the K-Tels, after that sort of like, if anyone remembers in the 70s and 80s, the K-Tel Records released all those kind of like weird compilations of music. So they were forced to change their name due to the threat of legal action on behalf of K-Tel Records, which kind of like is the perfect way to kind of introduce this sort of, this band, the Young Canadians. But post that, Art Bergman's had an incredible life and has so many crazy, incredible stories. Post his punk bands in the 70s and 80s became released so many great singer-songwriter albums, which is around the time when I got into him, and around the mid-90s when I discovered him. Yeah, and then subsequently just went backwards and forwards and have gotten all of his records. But yeah, I might point to people towards his songs, towards his albums. He has a self-titled one called What Fresh Hell Is This? And then his newer records are just, I think he's doing some of his best work. He's extremely politically motivated, and yeah, I just really important. I like to think of him as like one of Canada's most important troublemakers, like in a really good way, in a really positive way. He's really speaking up against just very important topics and writing songs about them, the atrocities of the residential schools in Canada, for example, and just sort of the scarring effect that's had on our First Nations in Canada. So amongst many other things, and he's very politically outspoken these days in his later years, and just so much respect for Art Bergman. So yeah, once again, if you get a chance to check out his music, it's he really is making some of his best work these days. But his catalog, do a deep dive if you can.
Awesome.
On Art Bergman.
I will.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah.
There you go, Ryan. And Lynn was saying that the last time that she saw Great Lake Swimmers was at Shelter Valley Folk Festival, and
oh wow!
And she's put in a request for your Rocky Spine GLS Classic, of course.
Okay.
Which
I'm happy
you have your space to play whatever you like.
Yeah, I'm happy to do your Rocky Spine. I was gonna play a Christmas song.
Well, if you wanted to do both, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I could do
quite the opposite. I think our listeners would quite like that as well.
I don't know if they sag very well.
We can put a little break in between, so make everything smooth.
Okay, sounds good. I'll give it a try.
Cool.
Yeah.
And thanks
this
so
was
much.
For.
Go ahead.
Who was this?
This is for Lynn. Lynn Bowerman.
Lynn.
I think in BC.
Okay.
Let us know, Lynn. And big thanks to Chris in Wuppertal who just supported the stream. Yeah. I hand it over to
Awesome.
you, Tony.
I was lost in the lakes and the shapes that your body makes, that your body makes, that your body makes, that your body makes. And the mountains said I could find you here. They whispered the snow and the leaves in my ear. I traced my finger along your trails. Your body was the map. I was lost in it, floating over your rocky spine. The glaciers made you and now you're mine. Floating over your rocky spine. The glaciers made you and now you're mine. I was moving across your frozen veneer. The sky was dark, but you were clear. Could you feel my footsteps? And would you shatter, would you shatter, would you? Your soft fingers between my claws, like purity against resolve. I could tell then and there we were formed from the clay and came from the rocks for the earth to display. They told me to be careful up there where the wind blows a venomous rage through your hair. They told me to be careful up there where the wind rages through your hair.
Yeah. Rolling over your rocky spine, beautiful. Oh, I think I just lost your audio there, Tony. I don't know if can you hear me?
Are we back?
Oh, we are back. We are back. Wonderful.
Okay.
Panic
Fantastic.
mode. For,
Sorry about that. Nope,
for 2
we're all
seconds.
good. Yeah. Floating over your rocky spine. Yeah.
Floating, not
Floating,
rolling.
floating.
I don't know how
No.
I got that.
No,
idea.
rolling.
Get it right, Tim.
Yeah.
Magical,
good.
magical.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Lynn. Thank you for the request.
Great request. There was something popped into my brain during this that is that immediately disappeared. There was a second request for us to come to Moonster. We're gonna have to do it. Bernie is saying that your show, the Great Lake Swimmers show in the museum there, was one of the best they've ever been to, and you can bring me with you. So you've got to come back to Moonster in Germany.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah,
It's all
that was a
Moonster
while ago.
tonight.
Yeah. Amazing. Shout out to Moonster. Beauty.
So yeah,
Cool.
the Christmas song. It is The Time Is Coming. The Time Is Coming.
Yeah, totally. I did get a request for this one, and I actually had kind of forgotten that we had done a Christmas EP a bunch of years ago. So I had to look this one up, and I found it, and I think I should be good to play it. Yeah, it's that time of year. I also wanted to say, Tim, that I today happens to be like the darkest day of the year, so I thought how appropriate for me to be invited to this broadcast on the darkest day of the year. Yeah, again, solstice. I kind of didn't realize at the time that it was. But yeah, it is coming up to Christmas, and yeah, it's nice to be to have people home for the holidays and to be gathering and stuff. So I thought maybe I would do one like the title track from that Christmas EP.
Beautiful.
It was a request from Heidi, I think, on Facebook. So I thought to maybe give it a try. Are you all set for? Are you ready for Christmas, Tim? Are you?
Well, I was gonna play a couple of Christmas songs. I know that like it's a bit of a divisive thing. Some people get very upset about Christmas music. I'm a massive sucker for it personally. But so I'm gonna play a couple of Christmas songs at the very end of the stream, so anybody who needs to like get the hell out. But like other people's Christmas songs, not originals. I feel like it's different when it's like our own things. But I'll be
I think there are some just definitely some masterful Christmas songs for sure. There's some really great compositions out there, and I'm a sucker for them too. But I also wanted to try my hand at a few. So this one, yeah, I thought I'd try one out. If you'll have it, if you guys will, if you think that's.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah,
I'm imposing this upon them.
That's true. Yeah, true enough. Okay, cool. Well, I'll give this one a try. It's called They Don't Make Them Like That Anymore.
Beautiful.
Little bells ringing, red ribbon bows, the hymns they are singing, the highs and the lows, the green limbs are blinking, the presents below, they won't be the same without you, I know. Chocolate letters, spell them together, sounding initials, let's make it official. Shapes in old glass hanging, names on stockings, scripted in cursive. They don't make them like that anymore. They don't make them like that anymore. They don't make them like that anymore. They don't make them like that. Oldest to youngest, nearest to furthest, taking turns wearing the hat. Where do your thoughts go at the first snow? Mine go to the township of Wainfleet, Ontario. And when I come home and I park in the driveway, and when I will be home from a long way away and back to our family, our new baby, though some things are different, some are always the same. They don't make them like that anymore. They don't make them like that anymore. They don't make them like that anymore. They don't make them like that. Little bells ringing, the red ribbon bows, the hymns they are singing, the highs and the lows, the green limbs are blinking, the presents below, they won't be the same without you, I know.
Gorgeous. So lovely.
Thanks so much, Tim. I want to just quickly shout out to my friend James Anderson, who I recorded that with in Sackville, New Brunswick. I was just thinking about that as I was playing it, and he went over and knocked on Julie Doiron's door, and she came over and sang harmonies with us on that one. So yeah, so there's a nice little duet on there with Julie.
Amazing.
Yeah, you can find that. It's online. You can find it. It's on the streaming things.
Yeah,
but
we've had Julie on a couple of times as a guest on the stream.
Oh,
so
nice.
Viewers will know that you can kind of imagine that together. But yeah, what is the name of the EP that track is on? If people want to look that up.
Yeah, it's called They Don't Make Them Like That Anymore. Yeah, that's the title of it.
Cool.
That's the track. It's the name of the track and the EP. And there's a couple other traditional songs, traditional Christmas songs on there, and another original on there as well.
Amazing. Yeah, everybody go digging. And the new album's coming out April, you're saying?
Yeah, late April 2023. You've heard it here first.
I love it. I love the exclusive.
Yeah, super excited about it.
Cool. Well, yeah, thank you again so much for coming on. For the viewers, if you want to donate to support the stream, there's a link in the video description. I'll post it for the Twitch people on here as well. But I do this every Wednesday, and I'm going to keep going for a little while, but we're going to say goodbye to Tony well, I would love to have you back on at some point. So
yeah,
I'm going
to
to make the invitation now, and it can be whenever. But
maybe once the new record's out, I could come back and play some new tunes.
I would love that.
A big thanks to I want to say thank you again to Joe Lipinski as well for helping us out with the sound, the visual, and the audio today. Wow, recording in St. Catharines. Thanks for the space, and thank you, Joe Lipinski, for helping us out.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, huge thanks from me as well. And there he is, the man himself.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, yeah, we're gonna say goodbye to Tony now, and I'm gonna keep going. But great to
Thanks,
see you.
Tim.
That's Tony Dekker of Great Lake Swimmers, everybody. What a beautiful set that was. That was absolutely magic. So I'm gonna keep going now. I'm gonna play some requests that you had. As I said, I'm going to put the Christmas ones at the end. And then I do have some wildlife camera footage. I know that I've been letting you down these last few weeks to not have that. But I'll play one and then I'll bring that in. But yeah, I'm going to play Be Patient. That was a request from Karine, I think. Yeah, it's from the first record. Woo!
come up. There's cardboard filling spaces in the road. You turn the corner laughing as the sentiment explodes. Your gods have promised everything for you. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Like my sick colleagues, as you are, it's not simple scratches, not subtle scars. This is painful. And they know, we know. Without meaning, I burst through the clouds. I dried the soil out, I cracked the ground. Is this over? Because you look at me as if you've never seen the wheels come up. There's cardboard filling spaces in the pavement, in the road. You turn the corner laughing as the sentiment explodes. Your gods are putting everything on
Let's Be Patient from the first record, a request for Karine. So yeah, as previously stated just a minute ago, I am going to do a little bit of Mum's Badger Cam because we've had some footage. We've had some footage from the garden in Burnley, in Lancashire, specifically Reed. But nobody, I mean, few enough people know where Burnley is that that's specific enough, I guess. Speaking of which, can I get an update on the Burnley score, please? Burnley are playing Manchester United in the League Cup, and I would like to know how we're doing. Thank you. But yes, there's a motion-triggered night vision camera in the back garden, and Mum's been sending the footage through for the last year, I think, now, at this point. So yeah, I'm going to show you what we got this week. It's a little bit of like a Blair Witch project, but maybe like, I don't know, like Deer Witch project. So yeah, here we go. 1-0 Man United. Boo. That's no good. That's really no good. And as always, if there's any, if anybody can tell us the names of these animals in different languages, it's much appreciated. I keep forgetting them when people tell me them. But maybe one day I'll learn. The best bit's coming up. It is both lovely and creepy. It's so true, Tara. That's the best bit, I think. Little jump. Chevreuil. It's a deer. It's a deer, Lilith. En Espanol. I had to do a little freeze frame here because this is the real like Blair Witch moment. Look at that. And then this, to me, is just like the perfect dream of an English winter morning. Like just a little frosting of snow upon the trees. So pretty. Making me a little bit homesick. I must say. Sierva, sierva. And rey in Deutsch. Sierva or siervo, I guess it's if it's a fellow. Anyway, there you go. That's the action this week. Hopefully there'll be a little bit more next week as well. Yeah, for anybody who's new to the stream, I do this every Wednesday. Although I don't know if I'm going to do it next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is I was planning to take it off, but I might just decide to do it last minute anyway. But make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like this video while you're at it. So then you'll get notifications about when it happens. We've got more guests coming up in the new year. Michael Furstack is coming back. Hannah Epperson is going to do one, an amazing violin player from out west. Christine Bougie, guitar player from Toronto. And if anybody that you want to hear, let me know. We'll definitely get Tony back at some point. And thank you to Bruni for the donation. That's very, very kind of you. I'm going to get the requests thing going. We've got so many, and I need to play the Christmas songs too. So I'm just going to do a couple more. So if you put a request in and I don't get to it, then you should tune in next time and I will play it. But I'm going to play Pink Moon by Nick Drake, which was requested last week or the week before. If it was you who requested it, please let me know so that I can dedicate it to you. Because we're getting a lot of anonymous ones these days, which is, I want to know. I want to know who wants to hear the songs. But yeah, here's some Nick Drake for you. I do need to learn some Muppets Christmas Carol, but I'm gonna play some other Christmas things. But this is Pink Moon by Nick Drake.
So I say, Pink Moon is on his way, and none of you stand so tall. Pink Moon gonna get you. Oh, it's Pink Moon, hey, Pink Moon, pink, 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 Pink Moon. Pink Moon is on his way. None of you stand so tall. Pink Moon gonna get you. Oh, it's a pink moon. Hey, pink moon. Pink, 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 pink. Pink moon. Pink Moon.
Pink, 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 pink. Pink Moon. Isn't that a good one? Gonna switch over to piano mode over here. Because there was a request for an amazing Polish song by the name of Wszystkiego Najlepszego by Ralph Kaminski, which is one of my favorite songs of the last couple of years. And again, if it was you that requested it, if it was you, let me know so I can dedicate that to you. Yeah. Here we go. I need the piano mode. I've changed the key that it's in so that there's some black keys because it's usually in C, which is just all the white keys, and it's strangely difficult to play it in the key of C. So I've changed it to B. So I get some black keys to know where to go. Okay. It's for you, Alice. You won't be smutsnie. Smutsnie. Don't be smutsnie.
Hej, 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 myślę wciąż o tobie. Hej, 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 czy myślisz jeszcze o mnie? Czy mieszkasz nadal w swoim pokoiku? Czy chowasz w drzewach słodkie tajemnice każdego lata? Złoci twoje włosy słońce każdego lata. Wracasz jeszcze do mnie, lecz snach jeździa za tobą. Nieraz tęskno mi, to musisz dowiedzieć, to co zaśpiewam ci. Życzę ci niebieskiego, najlepszego, najlepszego. Życzę ci niebieskiego, najlepszego, najlepszego. Jeszcze bardzo, bardzo kochałem cię do najlepszego, najlepszego. Hej, 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 czy jeszcze cię zobaczę? Hej, 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 piszę znów o tobie. Przecież innym już chciałem, tak piękny wyjeździe pomiędzy kodrami. Myśl się razem mnie każdego lata. Złoci twoją skórę słońce każdego lata. Będziesz wracać do mnie, lecz w snach. Zapróżono włosy, starożki smutnie wiatr. Nie wspomnę chłopaka z beztroski dawnych lat. Czy życzę ci niebieskiego, najlepszego, najlepszego. Życzę ci niebieskiego, najlepszego, najlepszego. Choć jeszcze bardzo, bardzo kochałem cię do najlepszego, najlepszego. Życzę ci niebieskiego, najlepszego.
That's Wszystkiego Najlepszego by Ralph Kaminsky. Chris, that was a request from my friend Magda, who is originally from Poland but lives in Halifax, where I used to live, and I lent it for her sister's birthday a year ago or so. Isn't it such a beautiful song? You can see the name of it there. I'll leave it there for a minute if you want to type it down. But the video is amazing as well. And yeah, the original is incredible. Go and check it out. Note it down. I feel like today is the stream where we're all making notes of things to check out. The Wow Sound Studio in St. Catharines, Art Bergman, Ralph Kaminsky. So yes, running out of time. I'm gonna do. There's two little Christmassy piano things that I'm gonna do. And so yeah, if you hate Christmas, leave now. Also, I hope you appreciate my like red and green Christmas outfit that I put on for you. And yeah, so I'll do that. I'll do those other piano things, and then maybe I'll do Don't Mind for Brini after that, and then I'll keep those songs in the queue. So anybody who's requested stuff, if you come back next week, I will play those then. Next week, I don't know if I'm doing next week. I might be in the studio next week. If I'm not in the studio and I'm in Montreal, I will do one. So maybe just keep your eyes peeled. It'll be a little bit impromptu, I think. Definitely back the week after though, the Wednesday after, with Mr. Michael Fierstack. And if you subscribe, then and hit the little bell on YouTube, you should get the notifications. But yeah, let's do the piano things. So a few years ago, I stole the Snowman book from my parents' house, brought it back to Canada with me, to try and learn some snowman stuff, because I watched that every year, have done since I was a little one, and the music is just ingrained in there, and I do think that my arranging has been actually massively inspired by it. Go and look up the Snowman if you haven't seen it. It's beautiful. But I'm gonna have a crack at this. It's really tricky. This might be last week where I tried something and just totally bottled it and messed it up and just gave up. But it's only a short piece, so if I do, it's okay. All right. This is it's not the main walking in the air thing. It's the music box section. Please wish me luck. Close enough. That's close enough as far as I'm concerned. And so it was about 5 years ago that I pilfered that book. So maybe in about 5 years, I'll have learnt the rest of it. Oh, Chris, your grandparents came from Poland. Well, that's a pretty great way to try and get into the language, get a bit more. So the second thing that I'm going to play, which is the Christmassy thing, is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, which I think is the best Christmas song, and maybe the saddest as well. And it had some like really dark verse in it that at some point they changed to make it like less depressing. But yeah, it feels like it's like this kind of Did they? Was it? It was Meet Me in St. Louis, and it's like a World War One film, maybe, perhaps. I haven't seen it, but yeah, it's like everything's gonna be fine, but obviously like isn't. So I'm gonna play that, and then I'll do Don't Mind, and then we'll say goodbye for the day. Yeah. Okay. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden... I forgot that bit. Hang on. Shit. I mean, poop. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who were dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the saints allow. Hang a shining star above the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Getting there. Next year, it'll be smooth. There's a law in making music where if you get a song to the point where you can play it, when you're learning something, you can't do it to begin with, and then you practice it and you get to the point where like you're just able to play it. And if you're at that point and then you go and play a show, you will mess it up. You need to be able to play it much better than like just getting by, because you need a little bit of what's the word? Wiggle room, maybe? Burnley score update? Brinny, I'm going to see you in Munster. We're going to do it. Frank, make it happen. This is Don't Mind from the last record. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks again to Tony for coming on. We'll definitely get him back. Merry Solstice to you too, Ryan. Merry Solstice to everybody. Yeah, the days start getting lighter tomorrow, which is pretty nice. Okay. This is Don't Mind. Still 1-0. We'll come to Wuppertal too, Chris, I promise. Okay, Don't Mind.
You'd be
That's Don't Mind from the last album. Du habst mein Debütalbum. Oh, okay. Dankeschön, Tino. See you in Germany, I guess. It's been a treat. Definitely back in 2 weeks' time with Michael Feuerstack. And maybe next Wednesday. So keep an eye out for notifications in case I do a last minute thing. But it might be Christmas holiday / recording time. To be determined. Yeah, I'm going to check on Twitch if there's anybody that I follow to raid. So if you're watching on Twitch, keep an eye out for that. But for everybody else, we're going to say goodbye.